A legal showdown looming over a key part of President Trump's agenda. Overnight, an appeals court ruling that his executive order limiting birthright citizenship will remain blocked. Another court had ruled the order violates the Constitution, which extends American citizenship to anyone born on U.S. soil.
We'll end up winning that court in the Supreme Court.
But the president is moving forward on another priority, reshaping the federal government, with new changes potentially reaching the nation's military and Social Security. As he requires that more federal departments line up with his agenda, Trump also posting, quote, "Long live the king," yesterday, while aiming to get rid of New York City's congestion pricing. The White House following up with doctored images. New York's governor writing, quote, "We're a nation of laws, not ruled by a king." As behind the scenes, the major material changes from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency continue.
You take a look at Doge and you see what's happening.
This morning, the Pentagon is in the cost-cutting crosshairs of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, with Doge staffers now inside the Defense Department, according to senior officials. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth ordering the Pentagon brass to find a way to cut the defense budget by roughly $50 billion, according to the Defense Department, while 5 sources tell NBC News some generals and other high-ranking officers may also be on the chopping block. Many of those closely associated with former Biden Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, or who've worked on programs seen as politically out of line with the Trump agenda. Yesterday, the president also floating a new use for any Doge-related savings.
We're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt.
But any such spending would require congressional action, and the president did not say where the remaining money would go.
We're not some deep state that has ulterior motives. I want to go to work. I want to help veterans.
In December, Marine veteran Andrew Lennox started a job he considered a calling at the VA hospital in Ann Arbor, Michigan, working as an administrative officer. He says his firing by email late last week surprised even his direct supervisors.
What does that tell you about the reasoning behind it?
It was arbitrary and it wasn't thought out.
Garrett, this all comes as the House of Representatives working on its own potential budget and budget cuts. The future of Medicaid in question. What do you know about that?
Savannah, this has been a mess. Now, Congress has been slowly putting together this massive tax and border policy bill as the president has demanded. House Republicans have been eyeing the $880 billion or so in the Medicaid health care safety net program as a place they could reform or potentially do steep cuts to pay for other priorities. But now the president has said in his recent Fox News interview that Medicaid will join Medicare and Social Security as programs the spending bill won't touch. All of it adds up to a giant math problem for Republicans and for the president, who've now promised both huge savings in this bill to pay for tax cuts and not to touch the 3 most expensive things the federal government does. It's not at all clear how they plan to solve that problem or when they might be able to do it. Savannah?
All right, Garrett, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.